Sometimes we can get stuck in practices and techniques as a means to an end. And it doesn't really matter if you're new to the law of assumption or if you've been doing it for a while. It's sometimes good to reset. A reset is like hitting refresh. It's not completely starting over. You're not starting from the beginning. You're just resetting yourself in the moment. So let me explain what that looks like. For most people, the beginning of the year is like this hard reset. It's like, I'm going all in on exactly what I want to do. These are my goals for the year. And people do that every year. Like where I'm from, most of us celebrated the new year on the first of the year, January 1st. And this past week was Lunar New Year. And to me, it's like, a way of, collectively, we as the world look at the previous year. We take a look at ourselves and observe, and then make plans and goals for what we want to see in ourselves moving forward. It's like a shedding of the old self, right? So, like for this new year, I did something different where I took exactly what I want to see for myself this year and I wrote it down as if it already happened. And I never do this. I put it in a drawer where I'm not going to touch it until this time next year. And I'm going to see what unfolded. And I think that's a fun way to play with manifesting. So I had my daughter do it. I think I had my niece do it as well. But I think it's fun, it's light, and it's a way to just reflect on what happened, what you were creating. But the thing is that you can do this in every moment. You don't have to accept the things that are showing up in front of you if you don't like them. Like, I want to give three examples. One would be if you're in a job that you don't like, because this has happened a lot in the people that I've worked with. You're in a job you don't like, it feels very toxic, and you're manifesting money. You know how to do it, you know exactly what to do, but it's not happening. I can make a whole video on the it's not happening thing. It's not happening. It's taking too long. Why isn't it happening for me? A lot of times that happens is because we are focused on that larger outcome and we don't see that things are already shifting. The shift comes within you first. You will always feel the shift internally because your internal self is being reflected out in your world. There is no shame in asking those questions. It is natural, okay? It is completely natural. It's what we do as humans. And because you're so powerful and you know how miraculous manifestation is, it's normal to ask those questions when you feel like it's not happening in the time frame that you expected. So that's one thing that comes up a whole lot. And let me just say that with that, my recommendation is to always ask yourself why. Only you will have the answer to everything that you're questioning. Everything. And if you notice that you're questioning things, you want to ask yourself, what is going on? Why am I feeling this way? And what's the answer? Right? No coach out there can give you that answer. They can help you brainstorm, but that answer comes within from within you. So you can ask yourself for clarity. And then you can imagine that the answer came to you. Either go to sleep and imagine it happening overnight or take a nap. But the answer will just come to you. The answers are already within you. It's just when you're in those kinds of states, and it's like a state of lack, it's a state of, not having it and wondering when it'll come and all that stuff. But when you're in those kinds of states, you can't see the answer. The answer could be right in front of you. The answer could be something that you just didn't notice before because you're so embodied in a state of not having it. So in that situation, just ask for clarity. Just ask for clarity. And then you can just start to reclaim that it's here, whatever it is. It's here, I have it, and feel into the reality of having it. Feel into being that person now. So, the more specific example is you're on the job. You don't like your job. You either want a new career, you want to double your income, or you want to just manifest more money, right? To be less dependent on the job. And it's all, if you really think about it, it's all just a state of mind. If if you, let's say, okay, so yesterday you were at your job and your supervisor was, being, I don't know, combative or just difficult. And you found it hard to like do your job that day or whatnot. And you were just like, I hate this job. I can't take this job. I have to get out of here. I need to start applying for new jobs. Whatever, it made you feel in that moment, which is all valid, right? But think about things that can shift just like that in an instant, and how it would shift how you see your job automatically. Let's say you had the worst day at your job, you went home and you got a check in the mail for a couple $100,000, and you're like, it just changes your whole entire state. Right? Will you even care what happened on the job that day? Absolutely not. You'll go on the job the next day thinking like, I feel so great. I feel like, who cares? Yeah, they were, being a jerk yesterday, but like it doesn't really matter. There's like this energy of I need this job to survive versus I don't really care about this job, or this job, you know, it's just a bonus because I have a lot of money already. I don't need it. You get what I mean? Like there's the the energy of needing it to survive versus I have options, right? Because you do. And the point is that you can reset yourself at any moment throughout the day, any moment. And what you're feeling embedded in and feeling like is dominating and making you feel powerless, you can shift out of that. It's like this way of looking at yourself and taking a look at the scenario that's happening from a different perspective. Like you're just observing it. You're taking a step back and you're kind of even observing yourself, like observing yourself in your office or at your desk, um, pondering over how much they hate the situation. Just looking at, okay, so it's just coming from an observer's perspective. Like imagine yourself walking back from yourself and you're looking at it as if it's like a movie scene that's happening, essentially just taking a step back. But you're taking a step back from the whole scene and you're observing it from like a higher perspective, the natural you. I need to talk more about becoming an observer, because when you become an observer of your experiences, you won't react the same. You'll respond from a place of power. But I want to stick to this subject. I want to talk more about what to do in those moments. One, I recommend talking to yourself. You can talk to yourself in your mind, but talk to yourself and say, this is not real. You can say these exact words. These are things that I used to say when I was hating my job and blaming them for everything that was happening, and it just made me feel so bad while they're just walking around the office in la la land. But I used to say things like, this is not real. It's not happening. This is not true. This is the truth of who you are. And I talk about who I was, how powerful I am, how I love myself, how I'm an asset to this place, how I'm the best person here, on and on. And like people would come up to me and ask me, if I want promotions. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't want all that extra responsibility. But it shifted my perspective and it shifted the people around me. So try resetting in the moment. Shift into a state of appreciation, a state of gratitude, being grateful, number one, that you have a job. There are a lot of people who don't and they're looking for a job. And I'm not saying like um make good out of a bad situation, but I'm saying it's a perspective shift. If you're not going to leave the job, it doesn't serve you to complain about it every day, right? It makes you feel controlled, it makes you feel like less than, it makes you feel dependent. So you want to feel empowered. And if you're going to stay at that job or even while you're looking for another one, you want to shift into a state of empowerment and a state of appreciation. You can be grateful for the job as a resource. I have money coming to me in infinite ways. One way is my job. It's not your only income. You're not dependent on it. You are powerful. You know how to manifest money. You have money coming to you all the time. You get checks in the mail all the time. That's the kind of perspective that you want to have to feel more empowered. Because when you're complaining and hating the people that you work with, it it translates into feelings of not feeling empowered. You don't feel powerful. You feel like there are things that you want to change that you can't. And these people are responsible for them. But that's not true. So this is how you reset. And remember, do this in any moment. I don't work for them. They work for me. I am the operant power, and this is how it goes. Remember that you have all the answers. I will see you in the next video.